YouTube, and Twitter. Hello, my name is Brian MacDonald. I am an expert damage consultant in the insurance restoration industry. And what I do for the insurance restoration industry is I go out to my clients' jobs all over the states in the United States. And what I do is I do a detailed damage report. And it's completely different than what you normally would see in supplementing system. Now, I want to, this is my first time doing a show. This is called the Boots on the Ground show. I'm going to try to do this every Wednesday if I'm available. I'm going to do a live stream video, and it'll be on educating the truth about the flaws of what I see in supplementing. And this is going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited about it. I want to tell all of my fans and everybody out there on Twitter, YouTube channel, please go to my YouTube channel, Inspections, Estimates, Supplements, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please follow me on my Twitter feed. New stuff's going to be coming out there. I will also be uploading new content on Twitter. Please like and retweet my post. I would greatly appreciate that. That helps me a lot because I want to reach more people out in the Twitterverse and YouTube world, and also on Facebook on the process of the insurance restoration process. Now, to tell you a little bit about me and how I became an insurance restoration specialist in an expert damage consultant. Basically, I started in the insurance process as a sales person. I sold roofs all over Georgia and in South Carolina after some hailstorms have come through. So about 4 years ago, I started this, and what I did is I was trained and learned about from knocking a door to supplementing. That whole process, which took forever. It took forever, I swear. I didn't know anything about the insurance restoration, let alone anything about roofs, because before 4 years ago, I owned my own general contracting company, hanging drywall, metal studs, frame metal studs, hung acoustical ceilings. I loved it, but I got out of that business. Did some mistakes, made some mistakes. I'm human. I am taking responsibility for that, and my stupid tax. So that's a little bit about me and my past. So I wanted to try something different. So I got into sales, which I never have done before, up until about 4 years ago. A good friend of mine, Stephanie Haig, she offered me a job here in Georgia. She thought I'd be a good fit for her company that she was working for at the time. And they installed new roofs from hailstorms, windstorms all over Georgia. And I was taught by some of the best how to door knock, how to sell. Not so much in climbing roofs and inspecting and knowing what to look for in damage. What does hail look like? What does wind damage look like? It was more geared to how to get your pitch down at the door, knocking doors, getting bloody knuckles, getting on the roof, scheduling an appointment to actually inspect the roof to see if there's any damages, then come down, talk to the homeowner, say that we have found damage, and start the process from there, from signing your initial agreements. You know, there's so many different ones out there that people use, but we used an agreement that basically authorized the company I work for and me to represent the homeowner to help them file a claim with their insurance company, and start the process of waiting for the adjuster to come out, meet the adjuster out onto the site and show him all the damages. I didn't know anything about that process 4 years ago. I was as green bean could be. Man, I was struggling. So I have learned through 4 years of training myself and watching other people do it, until about a year ago. You know, I got into Chad Michael's insurance restoration training course, which was phenomenal. Man, I can't believe I didn't find this 4 years ago. I would have been doing this today 4 years ago, but I'm blessed. I love what I'm doing. I'm passionate now about what I do. But back to my story. So I meet the adjuster. I go out and get the adjuster to apply coverage, wait for him to write his estimate. And then I would take that paperwork, wait for the paperwork from my customer to give me, so I can bring that paperwork and upload it to our CRM at our job, at the company I was working for, and start the process of getting the job scheduled. And there is people in the back office. So all I had to do was take some pictures. And mind you, pictures, also, they didn't tell me what pictures to take on a job, each job. I mean, they focused on, and not just them, but a lot of companies, contracting companies, just focus on knocking doors, get your pitch down, get your sales pitch down, and signing up people. They don't really have a authentic, badass training on how to inspect the roof, how to look for damages, how to document the damages, how many pictures to take, what you should take, what sequence those pictures need to be in. None of that. Absolutely nothing. It was just go here, take some pictures. Here's a list of pictures I need. 4 corners. Give me a picture of the gutter. Give me a picture of the shingle. And that's it. So maybe 10 pictures. I don't know. But then I find out, okay, I picked up my first check, the ACV check, plus the deductible payment, whatever it may be, $200, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, either from the homeowner. They either wrote a check, they paid with a credit card, or they took a loan out, or they financed it through one of our financing companies, like Green Sky, or there's a few others, but I really liked Green Sky. I liked it because, you know, I could do my thing right there on the job. It was pretty cool, but I know there's some other ones out there that are, you know, just as good. So back to what I was saying, and I get that ACV check and the deductible. And mind you, I'm working off of commission. So I know about this business. I have been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Okay. So I am as authentic as can be when I'm telling you about my story and how my journey of how I became from a salesman to an expert damage consultant. So I'm at the process of waiting for my job to get started. My company paid in commissions based on the amount of the check that came in to that I brought in. So if it was a $10,000 RCV payment or RCV amount of job, I brought in a check for 50% or $5,000. I would get 50% of my commission. Okay. So I was like, okay, great. So that gave me the incentive to get the money off the table. Now, when I mean get the money off the table, that table is the homeowner's table. Could be anything. All right. To where the insurance company is putting money on the table. That is the RCV amount, the ACV check plus a depreciation plus a deductible. Funds on the table. Now, I had an incentive to how I got paid was to get that money off the table. Okay, the faster I did that, and we took care of our customers, had excellent customer service, took care of them, is that we did the job. In that process, there was an inside supplementing person that honestly didn't know jack shit about supplementing. And basically all they supplemented for and knew how to supplement for was drip edge, valley metal, maybe some starter, maybe some hip and ridge shingles. That was it. That was it, the knowledge of how they did it. And come to find out that they sent their supplements to the insurance adjuster after the build or the repairs were completed. All right, so he completed the repairs, and we now have supplemented the insurance carrier for, let's say, $1,000, $2,000. That was it. And I get commission. I used to, at the beginning, got commissions from the supplement. So they would pay all the salespeople like 10% off of the supplement that was gained from approval. I could have been, so out of $1,000, I'd make $100. And the supplementer would make a percentage off of that, so on and so on. And then the rest would go to the company profit. Let me get some coffee. Do what you love. That's what I'm doing. I love my coffee. Now, what I didn't know is that I didn't get that commission from the supplementing until the supplement got approved. And the supplement check was sent to the homeowner. And that sometimes was not a couple of days. That was weeks, sometimes months. And come to find out that the adjuster, the field adjuster, has a pile of supplementing documents, this high in some cases. And when the person sends in a supplement, you think you get on the top of the stack? No. You're on the bottom of the stack. He's not going to get to your supplement until he goes through everybody else's supplement. Now my money's on hold because I'm waiting on somebody else to get off their ass and to get that approved as quickly as possible. Okay, so the supplement was approved, let's say 3 months after the build. Okay, and I've only gotten 60% of my commission. The other 40% that I'm missing is waiting on the supplement to get approved and to get mailed, and for me to pick up the check and deposit and to drop it off at the office so that they can deposit it. Then on top of that, I get the check. 3 months later, I drop it off at the office. In the way that my company was set up that I worked for, paid me. We were in pay cycles. Okay. So pay periods. So they did a pay period. The accountant cut the checks for the end of the week at a certain time of the week. So if I got that check in a day after the, let's say Tuesday, and Monday was a cutoff date, I would have to wait another 2 freaking weeks to get that 40% commission. So it drove me nuts. And I know there are people out there, salesmen, that are probably having the same problem and can understand this. So I started wondering, what the hell is going on and why is this taking so long? So what I did was I did a little bit of investigation on myself. I learned about supplementing and what the benefits are, what the features are, what the disadvantages are, and come to find out, what I saw is that, wait a minute, you mean I can build an estimate after I get my first initial estimate from the carrier, send it in to the inside adjuster before the repairs, work with the inside adjuster to get approved what was missing on their estimate before the repairs were scheduled? So I got a $10,000 RCV initial estimate. I increased it by $15,000. So now it went from 10,000 to 25,000 RCV amount, and I got that approved from the inside adjuster. Didn't bother the adjuster, let him go to another claim so that he gets paid, the file's closed, and I dealt with the inside adjuster. So I got my pre-supplements approved before the repairs. And guess what? I did all of that before the job was started. Now I don't have to wait for my commission. Now all I got to wait for is that adjustment ACV check to be sent to the homeowner. Let's say they sent out a check for $4,000. Now, after they recalculated their ACV amount per their policy, however it may be, they sent out another check for $6,000. So the check arrived at the homeowner a week later. I come by and scooped that $6,000 check up, dropped it off at the office. So I get another commission off of that. So not only did I, one, increase the value of the RCV, I got my money, my commission, because I make my money off of sales, off before the repairs were done. So 3, now when the repairs are done, my office sent in the COC document saying that we completed the work, and they invoiced for the new amount of $25,000 that we completed the work. And a week later, after the build, the rest of the money was there. I came by, scooped it up, and then I got the rest of my commission, 100% commission, a week after the build. And I was happy. Now, my supplementer didn't like that, but I really didn't care because I brought in the work. I did the work up front. I should be the one getting paid. Now, it would be a big difference if the company paid me the amount of supplement that got approved, was going to get approved, before that check came in. Now, that would be different. But no, they made us wait until that check came in from the supplemental, from the carrier. I just didn't think that was fair. So then I was like, a light bulb went off in my head. Wait a minute. You mean I can get this all accomplished before the repairs, increase the value of the RCV amount, And it only took maybe a week to 2 weeks. Now, these are some test cases I started on. Before the repairs were already scheduled out, like 3 weeks from the time that I received the paperwork, the initial estimate. We scheduled out like 3 to 4 weeks out, depending on how busy we were. So that gave me enough time to write up an estimate, get all of my documentation done, send it in, resubmit an estimate with my pre-supplement to the carrier. The inside adjuster worked with him, got an approval as much as possible, and increased my money. That's a no-brainer. Now, why are you probably asking, well, why doesn't more people do this? Supplementing before the build, or before the repairs, and instead of supplementing after the repairs. Well, the only thing I could think of and have realized is that we're all humans, and humans just don't like change. A lot of humans don't like change, because people have just repetitiously the last 30 years have this is the way you need to do it. This is the way to do it. You just supplement on the back end and wait for your money, and you'll make a ton of money. Well, then I started thinking, well, what's the value of the ROI for that? Okay, yes, you make some extra money, but you're waiting sometimes weeks, sometimes 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, 10, sometimes 11 months, sometimes 12 months on an approval from a supplement. Is that not asinine crazy or what? Who in the right mind would want to do that? I know I didn't. So, hold up. Where are we at? I got to get this started. That edited. Let me edit broadcast. My Twitter went off. All right, be right back. It's the first time I've done a live feed on Twitter. Let me get back to that. All right. And okay. I just shut down the Twitter live feed because I've got to figure out how to continue that. I had a call come in and it canceled it. So what happened is now what I found out is that I can get better at inspecting. I can get better at documentation. I can take more pictures, the right pictures. I can sketch. I can write Xactimate estimates. And I know I could get the funds released before the repairs have even started. And why not do this more often? Why not help other contractors do this? And that's when I created inspections, estimates, supplements. And now I go out and I consult with clients all over the United States. And once they get their adjuster to approve coverage, it doesn't matter what, commercial, residential coverage, what I do is go out and inspect their jobs, And I take anywhere from, depending on how big the property is and how much damage there is, anywhere from 100 to 400 pictures, especially more if there are interior damages. And I take drone photography, drone video recording in 4K. That's right here. This is my drone. It is, it's got a camera on it. Takes a 4K video recording, and it's fantastic. The high resolution pictures are awesome. And I can get an overview of the property and show the inside adjuster or their team what they're looking at and tell a story because they've never been out there on the job site. They've never been there. So it helps them to see what you're looking at. And also, you know, this is my camera. I've got a Canon Rebel EOS, what's this in? EOS Rebel T2i camera, just a basic camera. Take pictures of all of the damages around the property. And then also, mind you too, this is the same camera that I use to record video, live video record and audio record all of my adjuster meetings with engineers or anybody. Now you got to make sure that wherever you are in your state that you have a one-party state. You could do this without informing anybody. Now, in states that there's a two-party state to where you have to two parties, so that would be me and let's say the adjuster has to be aware that I'm recording. So in the two-party state, I have a form that the homeowner signs that stating that from now on, this date forward, every recording will be recorded on my property, and that goes to the insurance carrier. So it gives them a level of honesty, so we're all on the same level playing field. Not only for that, but it's good for me for notes taking, because there's so much going on in an adjuster meeting and information. I like to go back to take notes and make sure I didn't miss anything when I have a conversations with adjusters, and I'll use that. So it's a great thing. I highly recommend you get a digital camera like this. You don't have to get this one as, you know, advanced as this one, but the only reason why I did that is because you see, this is my phone. People took pictures for their company for supplementing. This drove me nuts to where they would take vertical, the camera up and down of, you know, the damage around the property and inside the house. Well, the problem with that is that when the pictures get uploaded to your desktop, they're so small and cut down, excuse me, that you can't use it. I mean, so many supplementing companies and people that supplement complain so much. That's their number one complaint to contractors, is that their sales staff or their crew leader or whatnot take the pictures vertical. Well, if they would just turn it horizontally and take their pictures with their camera and, you know, and back up what they're looking at, an overview of the entire elevation of the house, a medium view, getting closer to the subject of what they're going to, and a detailed picture, a little closer picture. So of each damaged area around the property, elevations, and on the roof. And if there's inside damage, do the same thing. And I'll have other videos coming up soon of live videos and other content I'll upload to my YouTube channel of showing, the right way of documenting damage around the house, of the property, of hail damage, wind damage, of whatnot later. Then what I do is I'll come back to my office. So let's say these projects were out in Dallas or El Paso, Texas. I'll go work on these claims and then document them, upload them to my computer, and I will come back to my office and start writing up an Xactimate estimate and downloading all of these photographs, and I will research the codes in that jurisdiction that they're in and get a strategy from what the adjuster has sent out in their initial offer. Let's say it came in at, I don't know, $40,000. The initial estimate came in at $40,000. There was roof that needed to be replaced. It got approved. The gutters, the downspouts. There was some siding, a window, a door that got damaged. AC fins got damaged. So all of that needed to be replaced. But they only initial lowball offer was $40,000. Well, now, since I have documented all of the damages, I found other damaged areas around the house and the property, and I write up my estimate, and now I will increase my estimate. Will go from, let's say, 40,000, for instance, to 130,000. All right, huge difference. Now, depending on the strategy for that carrier, I'll send in my estimate with documentations attached, code documentation, all of those photographs from my camera that I took, and all of the snapshot photos that I took of my drone video in 4K to tell a story, all into one PDF document, and so that I can send a large amount of information in a small file, PDF file, and send it off to the inside adjuster. I don't deal with the field adjuster at that point because 9 times out of 10, unless it's a large loss, they cannot approve my estimate. They're not authorized. So I deal with the inside adjuster, work with them, let them know that we're a general contractor, that there's been damage on there. There's a statement, opening statement, an email statement that we send with our estimate, describing what we're doing, what we've done, what's about to happen. We're ready to start in repairs on this date, 2 or 3 weeks out. So we're letting them know that we're giving them a chance to work with them to come to an agreement that our price is different than what their initial price came in at, and we're willing to work with them to get that resolved as soon as possible. So once we come to an agreement, we will then inform them that we also want the depreciation released because our client has signed a contract with the customer. So essentially the work has incurred per the contract. So 9 times out of 10, we are able to get the depreciation released as well once we come to an agreement with the insurance carrier. And they'll send out the depreciation as well as the adjusted ACV amount to the homeowner about a week later, depending on how long it takes them to receive a check. Some carriers will offer a direct deposit to their policyholders, so it could come in as soon as 24 to 48 hours. Just depends on how the customer sets it up with their insurance carrier, the funds. Then I inform my client, my contractor, that we come to an agreement. Our strategy worked. You got an X amount additional funds, from 40,000 to 115,000. Once all said and done, they're happy. They go by once the check gets the check or the funds are released, and they go by their customer's house, pick up those funds up to 115,000 in funds, and they have already scheduled the work. A week later, get the work done. Now, there might be some situations that me and the inside adjuster could not agree on some items that we had to follow their prescription. And once we did that work, we documented it. I came back out to my client's job and documented it, more photographs, sometimes more drone flights, okay, and other documentation, code documentation that we have completed it. And now that will be a traditional supplement item. Now it is an invoice because it is incurred, and they will release those funds too. But the difference there is that that's only supplementing maybe 5% of items. The other 95% of pre-supplemented items was already agreed to before the repairs. So it's a win-win in my book. And I hope that you guys can see how awesome it is to collect your money before the repairs. I mean, the big difference between what I do and traditional supplementers out there is that I get the money off the table for my clients before the repairs. Okay, and this is without getting signing an AOB, signing an AOC, hiring a public adjuster, and or going all the way to litigation. Without those four things, I'm able to do that. Now, it's not the end all be all greatest thing out there. It's just whether or not, let me ask you, would you rather wait on your money? Are you a bank? So you're basically loaning the insurance carrier the supplemental amount until they approve it, and you get your money weeks, months, 12 months, 6 months later. Are they going to pay you additional in finance fees because you waited on your money? No. Heck no. So now I'm not downing supplementing. You know, some people just like it. But also I know that some people like another option because they're so stressed out of the supplementing process. And I can fully understand it. I hate waiting on my money. And I know there are other people out there too that hate waiting on their money too. So I've got a solution to that problem. I can get you your money before the repairs, and it's fantastic. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Okay, I'm sure you could if you had an AOB or an AOC and you went to litigation and you waited on your money for 12 months to 2 years. All right, you get an additional 25,000. So it went from 115,000 to 114,000. Wow. An additional $35,000, something like that, if my math's right in my head and live. So you basically, is it worth it to you to wait for an additional $35,000 for 2 years to get your money? Now, a lawyer and a PA are going to take a huge chunk out of that supplement. A PA, a public adjuster, how they charge what? Anywhere from 20%. I've heard sometimes 30% of the whole entire value. of the RCV amount. Off the top, boom, gone. And now there are some situations where you need a PA, but again, they take so long to where I actually have what, 1, 2, 3, I think 3 or 4 from a company that I used to work for here in Georgia that I'm still waiting on the PA, the public adjuster, to get it finalized. I signed them up, I think 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and they're working against State Farm. So it's frustrating, and they're not going to go after the full limits of the policy because it's the good old boy network here in Georgia that they get along. You know, I just don't agree with that. I believe there's a better way, an easier way to get your money faster. So now going to litigation. Heck, now there are some great lawyers out there. How I think they charge something like 40% of the value. And good luck trying to find one to take on a claim that's less than $100,000 worth. It's unheard of. So I'm here just to tell you that there's another way. I'm not trying to sell you a bunch of bullshit. I'm here to tell you the truth about supplementing, that I see flaws about the supplementing process, and I have a better way, a better solution to solve that problem. If you're interested, I'm going to do these shows every Wednesday. Again, thank you for watching my live Boots on the Ground show. I hope everybody love it. Sorry about Twitter. I got to work that out. It turned off because I had a phone call come in. I'll try to figure that out next time. Again, I hope you like my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Inspections, Estimates, Supplements, the name of my company. It's awesome. Please, I hope you like this and share this to as many people as you can. I love you guys. I'm in it to win it. I'm here for you. Answer any questions that you have. I also want to get the money off the table. Stop leaving money on the table, contractors. Please stop. Just do it. You can message me. You can follow me on Facebook, Inspections, Estimates, Supplements. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me. Those links and Twitter are on the description of this live feed when I get done here. So I hope you guys have a great day. I look forward to talking to you and do more of these live videos every Wednesday. Boots on the Ground show. See you guys.